Hi guys, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you here. Привет, Владимир. Oh, nice to see you today, guys. I'm good. How are you? Like, this is so weird. I thought that I posted on Insta a story that I'm going live, like in several hours. There was some sort of like connection kind of error or something, but it showed that it posted, and I was like, I thought that it was posted and everybody knows about it, but apparently it didn't, because now I checked and there's nothing, so I'm just resharing it very quickly once again. So yeah, but thank you guys for joining. Thank you for By the way, did you see the notification or something? Like, how did you know about the stream? Okay, I'm done with it. So, and actually, I planned to sketch the hands for today, because actually, I wouldn't say that I'm bad at drawing hands, but it definitely can be tricky at times, especially some of the, like crazy perspective kind of things. And so that I decided that it's time to get in some practice. Because I mean, I was kind of like delaying this kind of practice, but then I saw some really cool references, and I think that you will like them as well. So feel free to draw along with me. And by the way, you can also share your results online. You can share them with me like on Insta, so I'll be happy to see them. So if you do draw with me, please don't forget to share. I will be happy to see them. So yeah, we're going to start with this first hand. I actually saved like a bunch of hands for this matter, and we're going to start with the one that is on the kind of black background. So, and I'm using this brush that I created. By the way, there are several other brushes in the works right now, but so far I really love this one, especially for sketching. So I believe that this is the one that I definitely will be using in the future as well. I got notification from YouTube. Oh, good. Thank you so much for joining again. Like, I really appreciate that. So are you going to draw along with me? Or just chat and watch? Oops. So, yeah, where are we? Right now I'm just sketching out that general kind of, I would say, geometric kind of shape. So this is like so weird. I thought that it was posted like, I don't know, maybe there were something happening on Insta during that time where I decided to make everybody know that like I'm going live today, but alright, we have what we have. I'll put tags on Instagram. Oh, so cool. I will be happy to see those. And you can actually message me so that I don't miss it. So actually this hand is not the easiest one because it definitely has some perspective to it, but still it's like you can always study such reference pictures just using the simplest shapes like cylinders or rectangles. They will definitely, and perspective. So like just imagine that there is some sort of like shapes like this or maybe shapes like this, and then like according to the perspective that you see there, try to follow like the way it works in terms of the anatomy. Just basically like break more difficult shapes into geometrical ones, and it should be way easier compared to how they look like initially. Just not really sure about this one. I mean, it kind of like this sort of like shadow, but I just want to fix this. I believe that I should make these fingers a bit longer. I think I will opt for the freedom kind of change, maybe rotate a little bit like this. Is it me, or this area kind of looks like man's chest or something? Like, you know, the muscular one, like... In that reference, you can definitely see that there are like two surfaces in this area. That's funny. No, but really, I'm so happy like to practice today. Like I really missed the streams and, you know, like practicing, especially hands, because I haven't done this for a while. So it's like, I don't know, really cool. By the way, guys, can you see the reference picture like well? Because I usually place it in the left part, so I just wonder if the size is okay for you to draw. It's like, in case you need a bigger one, tell me. I will increase it. It's like for myself, I just open it in separate window, and if necessary, I just zoom it in. We're like speaking of the anatomy here, we can see that, I mean, basically we can break the finger into these shapes, like there are 3 phalanx, right? And they are kind of like connected with the joints, right? So I mean, on the, like in general, I would say a finger looks like this. So there is this like one section, then there is the joint, then another section, the joint and another section, and the joint that connects to the actual hand, right? So, and of course you need to consider like the proportions, because usually the final like section is shorter than the previous 2, and previous 2 are more or less the same, or maybe in some people the first one goes as the biggest one, the longest one, and then the next one becomes shorter, and the next one is like even more shorter. So yeah, for me it's okay. Good, thanks for the feedback. Okay, so I think we are done with this one. I will just merge the layers, I think, and we will So I think that this we can just decrease a bit. I believe we don't need them anymore that much because I already explained that. And oops, the hand I will just place in different location so that it doesn't where to put it. Let it be here. I will maybe just decrease it a bit. Okay, so we have free space for the next one, and let's choose it. I think next one can be something like this, so I will just increase it a bit so that you can see it. This one is a bit easier, to be honest, so yeah, let's go for it. But still, it's a nice kind of perspective, I would say, because I mean, still it's not 100% straight. I mean, it's not kind of like the face view, right? It's still has some perspective to it. So let's see how we can deal with it. And for the initial sketching, I would say that even though we are talking about breaking things into geometric shapes, I would still recommend you to use your intuition, right? Your artistic kind of spidey sense, and just sketch thinking more about the motion than the like all this construction kind of studying thing first, because this way, like when you add up the construction, when you continue like working with it, you already might check or like cross out some of the things like the movements, the proportions, maybe even, because I think that's like when you look at this bigger shape as one big shape of the hand, it definitely gives your drawing a more authentic kind of look, like the way you just perceive this image and so the movement and all this stuff. Because you know, if you just like start with the construction right away, I believe that you can lose the overall like feeling of naturalness, which I believe as an artist you still want to keep, even if it's stylized, and I would say especially if it's stylized. So yeah, kind of like sketched out. And after that we're ready to work with some... I mean, it's okay to modify things after some time, so let's say that we'll just put it on another layer. You can just like I will choose freedom for this kind of like changes, and I will adjust the proportions a bit. Maybe some parts like this finger I would move a little here and there. Yeah. And actually, what I also find is a very useful tip for, I would say, both beginners and maybe more advanced artists, it's that try to constantly compare shapes to each other, like in different on different characteristics, like where are they located towards each other, like what are their sizes compared towards each other, etc. So, I mean, for instance, here in this reference, we have two fingers, and to get them right, we just need to look closely to this reference picture. And you can see that this joint of this index finger is located slightly like lower compared to the joint of the middle finger. And this like a small detail, a slight detail, but it will definitely help you to not to miss in terms of the anatomy, first of all, and secondly, it will definitely help you to find the right location for the shapes and like get the proportions right. And what I also find really important, like it's okay to slightly change things. I mean, you don't have to copy everything you see there. The main idea for you, like when studying some reference, just to understand like how it works, what's the construction, right? But you don't want to just, I don't know, copy every single line from it, because it's not the point. Right, the point is for you to study from it so that later, when, for example, you don't have any reference or you have several references, you're able to kind of like change it in some way because you understand how it works, right? So that's the main idea. So I would even maybe recommend you to focus more on kind of like deconstructing things, because I mean, just like with this finger that we did, right? I mean, this one is like pretty schematic, right? I believe you can see it, right? But at the same time, like it kind of shows the structure behind it. And like later, when you understand the structure, you just take it, you rotate it, you change its angles, etc. You already understand how it works. So like, I hope it makes sense. Like comparing these two fingers once again in length, for example, you can see that one is a bit further. I'm talking about the middle one, even though it's actually bent more. But at the same time, you can see that it ends way further than the index finger. Just don't like this line here, so I will just get rid of it. So definitely studying from reference, it's like, for me at least, it's method of trial and error. So like you just experiment a lot and like see what works, what doesn't. Maybe something doesn't look really like anatomically precise, but at the same time, if it works fine for your illustration or like drawing, what's the matter? I mean, as long as it looks believable. Like nobody's going to measure like your anatomy, like in your illustration with some ruler and tell you that, oh, you don't have like, there aren't enough feet in this length, or But if it looks believable, I mean, that's fine. At least if we're not talking about some sort of like specific illustrations, like, I mean, maybe medical illustrations have some sort of different requirements. I'm not sure, but I believe they might, due to accuracy kind of reasons, but still, I mean, illustration is still illustration. It's not a photo. And also please consider that photos are not impeccable as well, like they're not perfect, because photos also can distort the actual reality, like the picture might look not necessarily, I mean, the objects might be distorted in some way due to lenses, like light and all this stuff, so just, it's also a tool, just like artist's vision. And here you can see also, like, even in this reference, kind of you can perceive the anatomy behind the fingers, because I mean, this is how it goes, and these are the bone structure behind it. So yeah, I think I will merge this one as well. Let's move it. Let's see where we are going to move it. Let's put it, I will also make it a bit smaller. And let's put it here. So now it's time for the third reference. Let's choose this one. Let's choose this one. I think we will go with this one. So no easy references today, actually. Even though I think this one is cool, like it's also interesting in terms of the... We'll make it a bit smaller so that you could see the canvas I'm drawing on. And I will open the reference a bit bigger for myself. And we're ready to start. So yeah. In here, by the way, I will just decrease it a bit so that we have some extra space. Here you can see like the interesting thing that's if you draw this kind of like curve, you can see the dynamic of the fingers, like in their movement, and it will help you to identify the approximate length of fingers in this kind of like angle. So I mean, since you know that fingers are more or less, I will just draw it here so that you could get it. I mean, if we just look at the hand, like in a very simplistic way, you can see that it kind of looks like this. I mean, I'm just drawing a mitten. Excuse me. Basically, it's a mitten. so that you can see already this kind of like curvy line that indicates the fingers and the shape of fingers plus hand. So, and here we can kind of like put in the fingers, I mean more or less, right? So you can draw like this index finger, then there is, it's very simplistic once again, like super general kind of explanation here. And of course like the width of the fingers is not perfect here. I'm just talking about the main principle here. So this is the, and here you can see this sort of like almost triangle, right? Like very simplistically saying. And the rest of the hand like this part, then there is a joint, another joint, and the final section of this finger. Then once again here. And you see this kind of like curvy line, it can be saved more or less, maybe in a little bit different kind of curve, but still you can put it here, and you can put it here, and then you can see where these joints are going to be, right, due to more or less. So what I'm trying to say here is that here like the joints too, but yeah, never mind, like additional. So this kind of curve can be used even in the more difficult kind of angles, like this one. So you see that fingers are moving in kind of like fan kind of shape, right? And fan has similar kind of shape of big curve, right? So same idea here, you can just use this curve to approximately identify the length of the fingers, and it definitely makes your life easier, I would say so. So let's come back to our fingers and approximately draw like the shapes, like not just in lines but shapes already. Just here pay attention where these fingers start, because there is definitely an angle and perspective to the palm. A little bit lighter here, not like the way it looks. Then you can see the big finger and how it's attached to the palm. Also, let's compare the, I mean that there is the ending of this finger, and then approximately I would say that it should end somewhere here. Maybe it will look even, yeah, I think that we need a different direction here of the finger, because it kind of like more like this line. Like in this case, we're ready to, we can even see that where like if we draw a vertical line from the beginning, like of this phalanx, like somewhere here, right, and draw it vertically like this, on this picture we will see that it kind of ends somewhere like in the middle of this finger. So this is where we're going to start, and then if we draw this one here, this is approximately where it should end. So around these proportions. Oh yeah, now it's time to use another layer. phalanx, and here we're going to actually draw in more. When speaking of phalanx, right, I mean definitely this kind of movement here as well. So this line duplicated and placed a little bit higher, it helps us to identify where the joints are, where our sections of the fingers end or start. Like here, this bump indicates the knuckle, right? This kind of like part here. We almost don't see it here, even though like where this is the part that you can see like in this reference. So we need to indicate that, maybe not that drastically, but still. Here it is, and then we move on to, you can even see like the line like that indicates the phalanx, and kind of like goes in this cylinder kind of circular way. Might even increase this part a bit. I think it should be a bit bigger due to the location, and I mean it's kind of like closer towards the viewer compared to other part. I mean it's basically like placing a cylinder in this kind of way. So you see, like due to perspective, like this is smaller than this one. Like I hope you can see it, right? Oh, and by the way, this here, same kind of movement. That's so interesting, actually. Show that in these fingers there are kind of like really dramatic kind of movements. I mean, to emphasize the perspective, you can even draw these like tips of fingers a bit bigger in shape and in And by the way, what is interesting here, that's we can even see like the, I would say, the different surfaces here. So it's fingers are not 100% cylinders, right? They can have some sort of like even, I would say, to say that right, they can have some surfaces. It's not like a circular one surface, I would say. So this is what I'm talking about, like here. And usually to see those, you need to pay attention to shadows, because usually where there is some sort of break in shape, you can see that first there is some light kind of surface, and then another one, if there is some sort of like even the smallest shade, there is some sort of difference in surfaces. So maybe the shape kind of like breaks into different surface. So this, the palm is not maybe, I would say it doesn't show the whole situation happening there. So, but understanding that there should be this sort of like triangle, we can kind of sketch it there. But if we don't see it that obviously, I think we can just skip and just draw the overall like bigger shape, not break it into smaller ones. I just really love how dynamic this shape, pose, angle, this hand is. And this part, I just wanna maybe change the location a bit. Let's see what happens if we just pull it like this. I think now it's better. Also, I would recommend you to pay attention to bigger shapes first. So like beginners make this mistake a lot when they try to draw every single small line that they see. And why I call this a mistake? I mean, like, obviously you can draw whichever way you want. Nobody's going to tell you what to do. But for your own good, try to simplify things, because this way you will see the bigger shapes, like the bigger picture. And having lots of like millions of tiny small lines everywhere, they will just confuse you actually, especially if you don't understand the shape, the anatomy behind it. So just I don't really like this finger, really. Looks weird. Oops. This. Then there is this shape, which actually goes like an, I mean that behind this section there is a joint actually, and then there is this break to the so I guess it looks like this. And that's actually it should indicate it here, here. Still, like drawing this thing here helps us to get the shape right. Okay, we're done with this one. Let's merge the layers and work with the next one. One more reference. One more. Let's see what suits here. Let's choose something like this, like nice. I would say this one looks good, and I think that we have just the right amount of free space here, so once again a little bit angled, with a little bit of perspective, but we can do it. So I usually start with the palm part of the hand, like it doesn't matter if it looks if it's located like from whichever side it is located, I mean. And I noticed that more or less it has this sort of shape, like, how is it called in English? Let me just check. Yeah, it's called trapezoid kind of shape. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about. And let's draw it here. So when the principle of the mitten is here, you can see it. And also pay attention that's like hand, it tends to narrow a little bit towards this part. I mean, that's in this case, like here, it's narrower compared to the base than here. Right, so we try to keep this principle here as well, like even if it's there's some sort of perspective and stuff, still we just and then separately just sketch the fingers where they end. Remember about making it look natural, not cardboard kind of style, right? I think that I would just love to decrease a little bit this area. So now it seems like too long. Okay. And I think overall hand we can just increase a bit because we have just the right amount of free space here. Oops. Okay. Now we're ready to... I just wanted to compare, like we can see that I think I will widen a little bit the sketch. So now it seems that this part needs to be a little bit wider. We will see where it leads us. The joint, the next section of the finger, or phalanx, I believe it's called. I think I'm hungry. I don't know, it usually happens to me, like when I sketch for some time, like I just feel hungry. And this reference is also interesting from not just the perspective of construction of the hand, but also I really love the lighting here. It's like so beautiful. It's kind of like golden hour kind of palette. Like, I think it's something that is nice to practice when painting as well. So, but today we sketch. So this is something to think about till next time. Check what it is here. I believe that we need to this part a little bit lower. Around this, I believe. And this part it goes, yeah, pretty much now it's better. And here you can see this line kind of like decreasing, a little bit curvy, like curve shaped. So, you know, like drawing fingers is pretty much like drawing some cylinders, maybe a kind of cones, but without the sharp tip. So the shape is pretty similar, I would say. so let's merge down and maybe choose a better placement for this one. Yeah, now I believe that it looks the best. So here we are. This is our result for today. So if you drew along with me or decided to draw a bit later after the stream, like, please make sure to share your sketches with me on Instagram. I will be happy to see them. Like, you can DM me or tag me there, and yeah, I will be happy to see it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that today's drawing session was fun and maybe a bit educational, who knows. And if you have any questions about like the process or maybe some challenges that you face, you can comment. I will be happy to help you out. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. I hope that you are having a great Sunday evening, and see you next time in my next video. Bye!